Hello, in this video, I will review the signals provided by Sunshine AI Signals, explain how can they be used to trade the ES 500 or MES 500 future contracts. You can also trade using options or ETFs or the leverage ETFs. For those of you who have not viewed the introductory video, I strongly encourage you to do so. You can find it on our YouTube channel right here, Introduction. And for any of our videos, if you like them, please give us a thumbs up. As a brief review, you will recall that Sunshine Signals give 3 signals daily: the main signal, the short-term signal, and the weekly signal. Each signal will show a buy, range, or sell. In addition, every morning before market opens, Sunshine Signals will provide supports, resistances, and a pivot point, which will act as a bull-bear line for the day. Sometimes an EOD sequence will be given, but not always. And if the signal detects a trending day possibility, it will show here as unilateral. Finally, a reference chart will also be provided, which is one possibility of the market's movement for the day. However, the reference chart is not to be used as the exact movement of the day, but simply a reference. In the following slides, we'll take a look at how all of this can work together to help find higher probability trades in a trading day. Before we review this week's market activities, it is helpful to zoom out and take a look at the larger trend. This is the ES daily charts beginning from 2024, starting from the beginning of 2024. As we can see, the market has been in a clear uptrend since the beginning of the year. From mid-March to mid-April, the market fluctuated between 5160 to 5300 before breaking down under that zone in mid-April. This drop also breaks through this support right here in the 50-50 area, but did find support in this next support zone. So found support in the 4950 to 4960 area. The market then recaptured this zone in May. And once it did, it moved back to test the middle and then back up to the top of the zone. For this week, we're looking to see again if the market can break up and above this zone, and specifically whether it can get above 5368, which was the prior high. If so, expectation is for prices to begin another leg up. Otherwise, it could rotate back down to again test this middle zone right here, and then if that breaks, test the bottom of the zone. The market last Friday ended with a range sell signal. For Monday, June 3rd, the reference chart is showing a possible dip in the morning, followed by a recovery. Pre-market signal is buy, range, which is an upgrade from last Friday. There is a short at EOD sequence, trending day is not expected, and the daily trend is up. The market opened at around 5310, in between the 5295 and 5318 resistance levels from last week. The morning did give a drop, and it went past the pivot point and consolidated here, and kind of consolidated around the pivot point for a while. The signal was downgraded at mid-morning, and at this point, prices was already below the pivot point. It kind of looked like it could recapture, but ultimately it couldn't, and it gave a further drop down to the 5250 area. The signal was downgraded again at about 12:30. So there are some members who look to go short whenever there is a signal downgrade, and if a short had been taken at the first downgrade, it would have worked out for about 20 points or so, 20 to 30 points. However, at the second downgrade, prices have already moved down by about 50 points at this point. So at this point, in my opinion, the risk reward is no longer the downside. That doesn't mean that prices can't go down further. It could, but at this point, I just don't think that it makes sense to go to initiate a new short, because I mean, where would you put your stop? And also, we're here, you know, this is a support area here. So if you're looking to initiate a short trade, it will probably make more sense to see the prices break under this support, and maybe if it gets down to this 52.30 area, see how it reacts there, and then maybe try to catch the rebound up if it makes a lower high, and then try to short here. But shorting here, it's even though it's a second downgrade of the day, shorting here, the risk reward, in my opinion, isn't there. Plus, there is a short EOD sequence, and with this sequence, we often see prices pull up towards the end of the day to offer a short opportunity. So again, this is not an area that I would initiate short. However, when we see that the market hit, you know, we see that it consolidated here for a little bit, and then it tried to break down and failed, and it had a pretty swift recovery. Once it hit 52.50 and recovered back up to 52.60 fairly quickly, this would have been a long opportunity for me with a stop below the low here. And particularly with a short EOD signal, you know, expectation was for prices to go up. So this would have been a long opportunity, and if taking the long here, you know, you would have gotten 10, 15 points fairly quickly. Now, at around 2, the EOD signal is dismissed. So at this point, it would have been wise to exit at least a portion, maybe even most of your position here, but hold a couple runners, because again, you know, EOD sequence can kick in anytime within the last 90 minutes of the trading day, or sometimes it even kicks in earlier. However, since it was dismissed, there is a possibility that the price will keep going up through EOD. So you could have capped a couple. You could have capped a small position, couple of runners for the end of the day. And sure enough, for the end of the day, we saw prices go back up towards back up to the 5,300 area. So here, you know, if you had gone in around the 52.60 area, it would have given you a nice 20 plus, if not 40 points here. And one last thing, since the EOD signal was dismissed, the short EOD signal dismissed, although prices did pull up to possibly offer a short opportunity, I personally wouldn't have taken it, because we have a rapid recovery into close. The signal was dismissed. That doesn't mean that prices will not drop. It very well could. But for me, I feel like it is better to wait for a better trading opportunity. For Tuesday, the reference chart is showing a possible choppy day with where it could offer both long and short opportunities. And you may notice that the prices in overnight trading, so you know, we closed around 5,300, and the price in overnight trading actually did drop. So but you know, and I would have missed this trade, but that's okay. You know, you are going to miss trades. That's just part of being a trader. And if you're not comfortable taking a position, it's just better not to take it. The pre-market signal is range, range, range. An upgrade from prior day close. There is no EOD sequence, and trending day possibility is not detected. The daily trend is down. The day before, the daily trend was up. However, the signal was actually upgraded from the close from the day before. So the signal is actually not exactly bearish, despite the changing trend. Thus, unless the 52.50 breaks, which was the low from the day before, my bias here was still to go long because the signal was an upgrade from the day before. And so unless we see supports getting broken, you know, the expectation is still for dips to be bought up. Prices opened around 52.95 pivot point and consolidated a bit before coming down to the 52.72 support. And which held, and also, you know, this was also above the overnight low. So this would have been a long opportunity. And the prices then moved back up to the 53.10 level, which was actually the level where prices broke down from the day before. For Wednesday, the reference chart is showing a couple of long and short opportunities. The pre-market signal remains triple range, and I moved the signal back to over here because I put it here, it would have covered up our graph right here. The trailing trend flipped back to up. And with this, the bias is to buy dips as long as 52.95 holds. In the morning, we had a dip and it did not even reach the 52.95 level. So this would have been a buying opportunity, a long opportunity. And prices quickly went up past the first resistance. And, you know, there was a bit of consolidation here, and then it went up to the second resistance. And here, with prices going past both resistances, you know, generally you shouldn't really try to short. You know, if you're looking to short, you probably want to wait for the next strong resistance. Signal was upgraded around 11:15 and actually was upgraded successively twice. So again, that's showing pretty strong momentum. So wouldn't be, you know, it would not be a good shorting opportunity. And for some, you may say, well, here the reference chart is showing that, you know, we have a drop here, and then we have a recovery and then come down. But here again, I just want to remind everyone that reference chart is just a reference. I mean, it's not meant to predict exactly how the market goes. There are times where it matches pretty well, but here, but you have to look at other data as well. And in this case, we already went past two resistances. The signal upgraded twice. So this one, you know, so I would not try to short this day at all. I would look to buy dips. And actually, often when you see this, the two quick signal upgrades in a bull market, pullback tends to be shallow and it just tends to go up. So here it went up. And then in the afternoon, we have a resistance, we gave a resistance level here and a short at EOD sequence. So for strong updates, for strong trending days like this one, when a short at EOD sequence appears, generally it's a good idea to really just wait till close to the end of the day to see if there is a short opportunity. And a short opportunity for me is generally a strong resistance level. So you recall that our previous high was at 53.68, so which is close to this resistance level. So if prices reach here, that could be a short opportunity if you're willing to hold the trade overnight. So it could very well flow up a bit in overnight trading. So if you're willing to hold it overnight into the next day, this could be a short opportunity. For Thursday, June 6th, Sunshine was traveling on Thursday, so signal was not provided. But a reference chart was provided showing that that dips during the day could be bought. And if you recall, the day before we ended with a short at EOD sequence and a resistance level at 52.72. That area was hit in overnight trading and would have given about 10 points if you trade in the overnight session. At open, prices went up and gave us the 53.72 entry again, and this would have given, initially would have given 10 points. And if you had taken the short on the rebound right here, or again around this area again, this would have been given at least 20 points here. And then on this rebound, again, it didn't get past the high. If you were willing to take this short with a stop above the high of day, this would have given you another 15 points or so. For Friday, June 7th, the NFP and unemployment data was released at 8:30. So you see here the reaction here, and it caused this drop down. 53.22 and 53.35 were prior support levels, and the drop was stopped in between those levels. And if you recall, in the gray zone that we had shared in the beginning of the video, that zone, the top of that zone was around 53.20 area, and this drop was stopped above that zone. Of course, on event days like this, it's easy to see what the action reversed, but when it's happening in real time, it's not possible to predict where the prices will go. So if you're trading this, make sure that you have a plan and you're sized appropriately to weather this. Pre-market signal shows range buy with a monthly buy. The monthly signal is given from time to time for longer term trades. For day trading, it makes sense to focus on the short term and the main signal, while the weekly and monthly signals can help determine entry and exit points for swing trades. There's no EOD sequence, and trending day is not detected. Daily trend is still up, but signal showing that that uptrend may be weakening. The market opened above the 5337 pivot point, and there was a drop, a dip in a brief dip, but it did not break the low of day here, and the dip also did not break under the pivot point. So this presented a long opportunity targeting the overnight high at 5372. And here, so prices went up, did go back up to the 5372 level. I'm sorry, the overnight high was actually at 5360, 5370 level. I'm sorry, 5368 level. So prices went back up. So that would have been your first target right around there to maybe exit a portion of your positions. And then it surpassed it and went up, and then the signal gave a second resistance level at 5380. This 5380 gave two short opportunities that would have given between 20 to 30 points. So the first one here gave a 20-point drop, and then back up, and then 5385 gave another 30 points drop. Zooming out again, we see that this week, prices on the weekly level did close above the zone, and prices also broke above the previous high. For next week, bias will be for further upside continuation as long as this 5320 zone, so the top of this gray zone, holds. If it does hold, expectations for prices to get back up to 5368 and then 5385. Above that, we can see another leg higher. On the other hand, if this turns into a look above and fail, then prices will have to first break under this 5320 level. And then if it does, we may say prices come back down to test the middle of this zone at around 5250. And if that breaks, and test the bottom of the zone at around 5175. We do have CPI and FOMC meeting on Wednesday. So it's possible for market to be range bound on Monday and Tuesday, perhaps between the level of 5330 to 5380, or if it becomes a little bit more extended between 5300 and 5400. And then Wednesday, after those two events, prices may break up one way or may break down the other way. and then we may see a bigger move. I hope everyone had a good week. If you have any questions, feel free to contact us. If you join, members do receive more detailed commentary regarding the signals and views of the market from Sunshine and from moderators. But I hope everyone had a good week and have a great weekend.